Hello, everybody. This is Bobby Mills from theindependent.com with Carissa behind the camera with another special Endzone Online. We made the long trip, not really, to 3 miles south of Stromsburg, Nebraska, something like that. We're at Cross County High School. Looks like a small college when you get here, folks. It's impressive. Coach Hayden Delano, thank you for being with me. This guy's good, man.
Thanks for coming out.
You betcha. So we were talking just before, this is your which year now?
This was year number 4.
Year number four? Okay. And if I did know, I wasn't sure, where did you coach before that, or did you, or were you right out of college?
Yeah, so when I graduated, I was at Appleton City, Montrose, Missouri. It was a co-op down south of Kansas City, about an hour and a half. So I taught at Montrose, was a first-year PE teacher, health teacher, athletic director, head baseball coach, assistant boys basketball coach, assistant football coach.
Oh my goodness.
So it was a tiny school, 125 kids, K through 12.
That was my next, yeah.
So it was really small, and it was a unique situation. We co-opted all sports except football, except basketball. And then, so I went over there and helped with football. We had no kids from our school that played though. So yeah, it was a weird deal.
Okay.
So met some good coaches, and we had some good kids, and I spent 1 year down there. My wife, she's from Nebraska, so after about 8-9 months of living in Missouri, she was ready to be back here. So kind of brought us back north. So.
Where did you go to high school then?
I'm from Miami, Oklahoma.
Oh, really?
Okay. Very northeast corner. The home like Ineo Junior College, Northeastern Oklahoma, A&M there. So yeah, so I'm from Oklahoma. My wife's from Norfolk, up here in Nebraska.
Sure.
We met at a church camp in south central Missouri when we were like 15. And
she hasn't been back since, huh?
Yeah.
No,
but no, so yeah, wanted to go to school together, ended up at Wayne State.
Cool.
So yeah, that's kind of how my Nebraska ties began.
I thought you were from Nebraska, Miami, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
How many running backs have I heard that the Sooners had from that time?
The home of Steve Owens.
Steve Owens.
My high school, Miami, Oklahoma.
Yeah. He gained 1,800 yards or 1,000,000 yards in the NFL in one run over 10 yards. So you don't think he grounded out? Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. You asked me before. Last year when I talked to you, you told me you were born to be a football coach, and I very something to that effect. I very rarely hear that. Seriously though, when did you find that out in your own mind?
Yeah. The first time I knew that I wanted to coach was specifically football was my senior year, and something happened at practice. I don't know the exact scenario, but I just remember, imagine this, because I harp on kids for this, but I remember thinking, but if we did it this way, it would make more sense, and not that was the right way to think, but that's what I thought. But it's always been intriguing. We joke with my parents all the time. When I was little, when I was 4, 5, 6 years old, I always wanted a marker board and marker for Christmas or my birthday. And it was always a basketball one, but I was infatuated with drawing plays and doing it. So the chess match has always intrigued me of coaching. Yeah. But then as I got into it, I started helping in college at a couple different schools like Wayne and Wakefield and Windside, and baseball and football and basketball, and I just always felt at home. Just felt like that, it's a calling. They say that, it sounds cliche, but you wake up every day and you don't ever go to work, so you just love it. So yeah, I just kind of felt like that's what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's what I do, and I'm thankful for it, and I'm lucky to be a part of it.
Well, what a great attitude. And sometimes guys that do are good numbers guys, but never end up being good motivators with kids. They're a numbers guy, and they don't really get the fired up thing going, but not your case. So when you came to Cross County, you said 2017?
Yes.
11-man football.
Yes.
How long did it take them, and evidently not too long, to buy into Coach Delano's philosophy?
Yeah, it was rough. We had the odds stacked against us, to say the least. So we were short on players. We were playing C2. We had 19 kids in pads. And several injuries and new coach, and it was kind of hectic, and we played a heck of a schedule. You had the St. Paul's and Suttons and Luther and High Northeast.
Oh my gosh.
So you look at the schedule, and I being new to Nebraska, it didn't mean anything to me. I said, okay, Luther and High Northeast or Sutton, I don't care, whatever. And then you get here, and then you find out who they are and what they've done and what they continue to do, and you say, oh, okay, so yeah. So we were young. A lot of our kids starting right now as seniors have played every snap since I've been here. So
I never thought of that. Yeah.
You think your name's like Isaac Noyd, who's a phenomenal back for us and defensive back. He was playing at 119, 120 pounds C2 football. So we were young, we were small. I was new. My style was different. My philosophy is different. The way I act is different. I'm just different as a human being. So it took time. It took time for them to adapt. It was definitely a process. It wasn't quick, but all the kudos in the world to the kids. They buy into everything. So anymore, it doesn't take much to get them on board with anything. So it's kind of a culture thing. And once you get the ball rolling, it kind of snowball effect. So slow out of the gates, but rolling now. So yeah.
And time-wise, it does not seem slow.
Yeah.
This must be this is a great bunch you have, because it looks like you're at the controls pretty well when I saw it last year, and obviously. And we'll talk about last year a little bit, because you started out 1-3, didn't you?
Yeah.
And tough schedule. How in the world? Yeah, tell them who the first 4 games were with, and I think your win was over Palmer, and those kids play hard anyway. But my gosh, was it BDS one or
we
not?
opened up with Wisner. That cycle was Wisner Pilger, who was dropping 8 men as well, so we didn't know
Yeah.
much about them. Turns out they were really, really good. We had Palmer, who competes year in and year out. Obviously, phenomenal coaching staff.
Yep.
They're athletes. They beat some really good teams, and so and then we had Fullerton and Osceola High Plains. So that was our first month. And so we were excited when we got to the new cycle, new scheduling, and I'm sure we'll talk about that. But it happened all again. So, but we're thankful for that. 1-3 wasn't fun, and we found ourselves at East Butler, who again well coached and a tradition of athletes. And it was a you have to win now type of game, or the wheels are going to fall off. And our boys knew that, the coaches knew it, the community knew it, and we squeaked one out 18-16 and turned things around. But 1-3, yeah, it was a little nerve wracking there. And, you got to make sure everyone stays bought in and working. But the teams were so darn good. At the end of the day, you can still go to bed knowing that you lost to some really, really quality 8-man teams. So we got through it, thankfully, but it was rough there for a while.
And it looked like, did anybody take you lightly when you got into the playoffs? I knew what was going on, because I could see it from other coaches telling me about it. But maybe not, though. I don't think they did. But you guys had it together. Did the sign boy the older one was not healthy the first part of that year, correct?
Yeah, that definitely was a factor. We didn't know it yet, because as a freshman he didn't play much.
No.
So, he was a phenomenal. We talked about it just the other day. He's a phenomenal scout player his freshman year. He was stupid good. So just needed to grow a little bit mentally and physically. And we knew trying to block him on scout or trying to stop him, we knew he was going to turn into a special football player.
Yep.
And he has. But yeah, he was out. He had a summer back injury. And then Christian Rystrom, who's started every snap since he's been here, was hurt as well. So we had 2 of our better players out. Christian came back week 3, and Carter came back week 4. So
okay, I didn't realize Christian was out.
Yeah, so we were missing some players. Not to take away from those other teams, they downright just beat us. But yeah, so we knew it was going to be maybe a little rougher than it should have been.
Well,
but it is what it is, and it worked out that way.
So how many kids were out for football your first year of 8-man?
The first year of 8-man, we had, I want to say it was 27, 28.
Just a couple years ago, yeah. And now you're up to 30.
Yeah, so in the 4 years it was 19, 28, 35, and then we had 42 in the summertime. It's dropped off a little bit. We're down to 39 now. So
not bad. I mean, those are good numbers for 8-man football. Yeah, if you go back and talk 19 for 11, that's not really.
Yeah.
That's not that. Those are not good numbers.
Exactly.
So tell me about your coaching staff. I'm not sure I know all of them. I know their faces, but not the names.
Yeah, so our offense coordinator and O-line coach is Matt Carroll. He's our wrestling coach as well. He's phenomenal at what he does. You're talking X's and O's and motivator and what type of coach are you? He's really the whole package. He can get the O-line to do anything at any time, and he's brilliant. His X's and O's are just, I'm very subpar compared to him. So really my job is extremely easy.
Cool.
So he calls all the offense, and it took a couple years to get to know each other, and it's a great relationship now, and he has full reign on that. So I call the defense, and then the other 2 is Todd Connolly. He's over from, he coached at Twin River for quite a few years as the head coach.
Yes.
He's an assistant now. He's been a great addition. So we're young. I'm not 30 yet, Matt Carroll's just barely 30, and Mitch Bosshart that we'll talk about is not 30. And so Connolly's like the wise coach, right? So he helps us out. He doesn't get fired up. He doesn't really show any emotion. He's just kind of even Steven all the time and helps us just keep level headed. He's phenomenal with the young kids. He spends a lot of time with like the scout and JV guys and just teaches them the basic stuff as we're doing stuff with the older kids. So it's been a great addition. And then he helps out on offense and defensive line. And then Mitch Bosshart is our quarterback coach and defensive back coach. And he's another guy that is very, very calm, very smart, and he's a thinker. He always knows when timeouts need to be called and situational football. He's that guy, and he puts everything together. And me, if I mean, you've been on the sideline, I get pretty fired up. I show a little bit of emotion, so I can't process everything as the head coach. So and it's great that we have those guys. I tell them all the time, it's like we have 4 head coaches. And people think that I say that to pat them on the back. No, it's like we have 4 head coaches.
Looks like it, yeah.
So it's huge. And then the last one, you'll see him on the sidelines, but our strength and conditioning coach, we're very fortunate here. His name's Quinn Peterson. You covered him with the Stromsburg Viking. Great. He'll be mad that I said that. He was quarterback, middle linebacker for the '99 title team.
Yes.
He went off after school and was a strength and conditioning coach, assistant at Kansas State and North Dakota University, and he did all this. So he's got a wealth of knowledge. He moves back here and farms now, and he's got 7 kids in the district, or 6, going to be 7 in the district, and finally one day it just all connected, and we were wondering why he wasn't doing our weights program.
Oh, gosh.
So I was doing it, and I felt like I know what's going on, and all coaches should, but then he's just worlds ahead of us, and he's a phenomenal resource. So he took that over. So he deserves credit too. Our boys and our girls alike, both. The gains in the weight room are phenomenal. We just tested out 2-3 weeks ago. We broke 31 school records. So that's boys and girls. We got junior high kids that are getting on the board for the first time ever beating high school. It's all by weight division.
Oh my goodness.
So he's got that thing rolling. So for me, it's really easy to coach when everybody's good at coaching, and then your strength coach gives you big fast guys. So so I do probably the least, and I'm not just saying that. So.
Don't let him kid you. Is this Coach Peterson's first year in the weight room, or is he?
This is the start of his. So it's been like 2.5 years he's been with us.
Things are rolling.
So these guys now, we're putting on some serious weight and some serious strength and speed. So we're thankful and lucky to have him.
And we don't have to worry about attendance in the weight room even this summer, I don't suppose.
Yeah, they're bought into him. So he's pretty intense as well.
So what about the current year? Your offense? We could probably talk about that for the next 20 minutes, but your linemen have to be pretty smart, because it looks to me like it's pretty diversified.
Yeah, we.
Now, what plays do you plan on calling this week? No, I'm just kidding. But it does look like
it's no secret. We only have about 4 plays, so that's one key to our success. When I called the offense my first year, I was a young guy, thought I knew everything. I helped coach a good team down in Missouri. Turns out they were just really good and had nothing to do with me. So. I got here and I wanted to implement all this stuff, and it was a disaster. It was just part of the train wreck we went through. And then Matt Carroll's been great about just getting a little more old school. I saw you tweet about it the other day. How many 8-man schools are going to get in a single wing on balance? We'll never go back, and it's not a secret. It's who we are. Our kids absolutely love running the football.
Yeah.
The linemen take so much pride in it and do their jobs, and they just love it. They get mad when we call pass play, except probably the tight ends. They probably don't think we call enough. But our center guard, they love to run it, and we always get a kick out of them. On Friday mornings we lift. That's something just part of our culture. Instead of going away from the weight room, we lift on game day. We get up early like we do all week.
Really?
And we move the weight. It's who we are. It's what we want to do. It's a mindset. But when we walk up there, they have some rock song. I don't know what it is, but all it does is it keeps repeating, "We're going to run all over you," and they love it. It's who they are.
Perfect, man.
So they believe it. But it is kind of difficult at first. There's a lot of if this then that's, and our O-line has to be tuned in. And our left guard, Lincoln Kelly, and you're familiar with that name. He's a senior. he is the smartest football player I've ever coached in my 4 or 5 years.
Except when it comes to telling you which way you're going on the kickoff. No,
yeah, that was.
Hey, inside joke.
He says that was my fault. It probably was. I probably should pay attention better. But he was the captain out there, so you think he would know. But yeah,
we got straight.
he's brilliant, and you'll see him on Friday nights from the guard spot. He used to be our center, so he could talk to everyone. Now he's left guard. You'll see him lean forward. He's telling people. It's gotten to be so good for him, but such a crutch for our team. We have days where Lincoln can't talk at practice. We don't let him because our kids will rely on that and never learn. So it's a good problem to have to tell him to shut his mouth. But on Friday nights, we definitely let him communicate. And they take care of each other. And he's got a huge job. We got a center that's a freshman right now.
Unbelievable too,
yeah.
and
He's a big boy, good athlete. Alex Noyd, about 210 pounds, loves football. I think he probably put in 25, 30,000 snaps on his own this summer. He'll text me on a Saturday morning, is there NSA rules where I can't go to the practice field and hit the sled and just work by myself? I said, wow, first off, you get whatever work in you want. Also, you need to rest too. But he gets it, so that's fun. So it's kind of difficult. The more you're in the system, you get comfortable.
Sure.
The line definitely gets a lot put on them. The running backs, they're just asked to hit big holes. So
and they're there. Yeah,
they got the easy job. So definitely a lot of credit to the line and to Coach Carroll for getting them squared away.
No wonder I love this football team. I like that run. And what about the defense? Do you have everybody going both ways? I can't remember.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
So I think we have usually maybe 2 that will be one-way starters, maybe a defensive back or a quarterback or something. But pretty well, we have 6 or 7 guys that are both ways. Some of it is just because we cycle on defense. We don't rotate any O-line on offense, and we don't rotate any linebackers or DBs on defense. It's kind of our philosophy. So. And an 8-man, one mistake on defense, touchdown. So,
you got to put your best athletes on the field. Yeah.
But we have a good problem this year. We got a lot of kids that should be playing and don't get to because for the first time, and that's another thing. I'm off script here, but.
No, you're okay.
One thing I love about our culture and what our kids are learning about is when I got here and our seniors now were starting every game as freshmen, you shouldn't ever be doing that. You shouldn't do that to the kids, and you shouldn't do that to the community. Yeah. And it's not even fun or fair for the other team that's coming because they're just risking injury to come beat you by 70. So that's what it was. So we've told those kids, when you look at a roster that says senior, 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 junior, junior, senior, junior, etc., then you're in a good place. And so for the first time, we finally have that. So we got kids that are really eager to play, that are freshmen and sophomores, and even some juniors and seniors, and that are wanting their chance. But that's a very good problem to have for us. So
luxury.
Yeah, we're excited about that. Luxury for sure.
Can you play some JV games or not? Or freshman, sophomore, or whatever? I don't know.
We have 5 JV games right now, 5 or 6.
Cool.
Hopefully that happens. Fingers crossed. Things are trending good. So
that's the COVID thing.
It's tricky every year though, just because of numbers. We're so fortunate that we won't ever cancel a JV game. I have 25 to 27 kids I want to take.
Man.
And we understand. We're thankful for that. But there's other schools that have 20 on their whole team.
Can't do
so I think our roster or our schedule got moved around a little bit this cycle. We picked up Howes Dodge. Sutton's going to start playing 8-man games.
Are they really?
Yeah, so we know that their numbers will at least be healthy, for JV at least. Thayer Central, we got some teams that we know have the numbers, so those kids are excited. And we started a new thing because so many cancellations. We play a blue-white JV game at home if it's canceled. And we're going to start that this year.
Good.
12 kids on each team, and the varsity kids will ref and chain gang and scoreboard and all that. And so
that's pretty cool.
Kids can put the pads on, put the jersey on, get under the lights, go play. The parents can still come watch. So.
Mr. Glex, 106. Mr. Glex,
Sorry about that.
I like it, man.
If we have to get to that, we will. But hopefully we can play real games.
Yeah, I mean, anything like that, it's just a game time experience, big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we've had toilets flush on the air, folks. Don't worry about that one. And tell me about your district, or tell me about that game last week. Were you, again, Blue Hill, you have some things to fix? Of course you do. You always say you do. Pretty good. That's a good program down there. A little short on bodies, but I thought things went pretty well.
Yeah, they. I didn't know much about them, to be honest. Just being new in Nebraska and that far west, you just don't get out there much. So that was new, and you don't have a lot of tape. You have last year's film, and you have to guess. So we didn't really know what to expect. Just kind of worked on us all fall camp and everything. And then, they're a little short on bodies, but all the credit in the world. They play extremely hard.
They did, always have.
And I don't know their names, all of them, but they have an MJ kid that I know is a senior coach's kid, phenomenal athlete. And then I think he was a freshman, a little linebacker. Didn't know who he was, but talented. Played really hard. So, but things went well for us. We were older and a little bigger. Yeah. But yeah, they have a lot of tradition. They're going to be just fine. Obviously, too, we're D1. We're a very big D1. Yeah. And they're a smaller D2. So obviously, there's some size difference. But yeah, things went well. What people don't realize is it took till the third quarter for the O-line to figure things out. And I joke about it in another interview. The O-line was a little confused on Monday morning at film when they were a little bit in trouble. So we had to do some coaching on that. But I think we scored 30 in the first half, 32 in the first half, and 32 in the third quarter. So they figured it out. But we still made some mistakes. We put the ball on the ground 2 times. Luckily, one was out of bounds. We lost the other one, and that was 2 seniors, and they say it's on me. I'll give them a crutch. They said we bought some new balls. They said,
that one I've never heard.
So this week we're letting them pick out the football. So hopefully we're a little more secure with that. But
trust me, everything will be fine.
You mentioned the district, wow,
yeah.
And the non-district. Our schedule, our non-district, Blue Hill, Thayer Central, who brings everybody back and is talented. Howes Dodge. And Clarkson Lee. So there you go. So our kids ask, how's our schedule end up hard? Well, I told them, well, we get to request, and so I put all tough teams I can find. You think you'll hope to get
question. Yeah.
You hope to get 1 or 2 of them, but
gee, come on, NSA.
Yeah, the state gave us all, which it goes back to last year's 1-3 start. And our eyes get to the playoffs and let the chips fall where they may.
That's right.
So we take those lessons. I hate losing. The kids hate losing. But if we lose a football game to a Howes Dodge or a Clarkson Lee or whoever it may be, then we can learn from that. So, but it's obviously not the plan. It's not acceptable. But if it happens, then we won't hang it up for the season. We'll improve and grow from there. And then our district, it's kind of crazy. East Butler, who we've played the last couple of years.
And they're improving.
They're improving. They bring back some talented kids. Then you get Nebraska Christian, who we've played in JV the last several years, who are always good. Kind of our style. They like to ground and pound, but they can put it in the air a little bit, well coached. Lindsay Holy Family, or Humphrey Lindsay Holy Family, coming up from 6-man. They got those 2 twins that are 6'6", 6'5", that are great athletes.
Suits boys,
Suits boys, and some athletes around them. So they're a little bit of So they're a little bit of a mystery right now. And then Shelby, Rising City, dropping down from 11, and anytime you drop from 11, you automatically get more competitive. But the thing is, they were already competitive.
They were, man.
Always. So they'll be sitting in a good spot, and they get a new coach over there. So mystery again. But yeah, our work is definitely cut out for us. There's no easy week by any means. So
by the time you guys get to the playoffs, you'll be battle tested.
Yeah.
And then the big one coming up this week, it can't get any bigger than that, man. And how good does that game under the belt feel going in to play the preseason number 1?
Yeah, I've been back and forth on it, and I've talked to Coach Clarkson. I got to know him a little bit better over this last off season, and I told him, I said, because he mentioned us playing the game and getting to work out some kinks. I said, yeah, well, you're gonna have film on us, so
yeah, there you go.
So it goes both ways, but yeah, obviously it's probably a little bit nicer for us to get out there and physically do it and get some live reps. But I don't know if it matters. They're so talented. We could play 2 games, no games. They're a phenomenal football team, and you know that. Everyone in the state knows it, whether it's Tommy McAvoy or the Hayes kid or Pap Rocky, if I'm saying that right. And I don't know all the names, but they're well coached. They're big, they're fast, they're strong. They're also big, fast, and strong, and big, fast, and strong. So they're talented. But isn't that what Friday night and high school football is about?
That's what it's all about.
The rankings are what they are, but one paper has us 2-1, week 1 under the lights at a place like Clarkson Lee. What else do you want? And
yeah, that's right.
It's a beautiful thing. Our boys are hyped up. I know that Clarkson Lee's ready to go, so it's going to be an extremely fun and exciting night.
Yeah, go there. I'm still not, When's your first home game here? Would it be next week?
Next week we host Thayer Central, so the air raid comes to
town.
The
air raid comes to town.
That's
the game will get over at 11:30, so you'll have a lot of football, unless, you pick them off. But this is great. I'm sure the whole town's wrapped up and involved in this thing. And facility can't be beat, man. Not only come out and greet you on the golf cart and say, can I take you up to it's unbelievable, man. You got to come out here and see a game if you haven't. The road, Highway 66 wasn't as rough as I thought, man. All roads leads to Cross County right now, so. Coach, thanks, man.
Thank you.
This guy's going places. Let's hope they pay him $1 million so he stays here. So, yeah, good luck the rest of the season. And let's you had your share of injuries last year. I think the football guys are going to be good to you this year.
I hope you're right.
All right,
Let's knock on
Coach
wood.
Hayden Delano, Bobby Mills, Cross County High School. So proud to be here. So proud to know this guy. One of the best in the biz. So come out and support Cross County. If you're not from here, come and watch a game anyway. So until next time, Bobby Mills from right south of Stromsburg, Nebraska for Endzone Online. Carissa behind the camera. See you Friday night on the sidelines somewhere.